Your t-shirt was probably made 7,000 miles away by someone earning less in a day than you spend on coffee. But here's the twist. That might not be true for much longer because something strange is happening in factories right now. Robots are learning to sew. Software is learning to design. And AI is quietly removing the one reason garment production ever left the West in the first place. So the question isn't if clothing manufacturing comes back to the US and Europe hits, how fast and who wins when it does. Let me show you why. The next Made in USA, boom, 1T. Look anything like the last one. Let's rewind. For most of the 20th century, clothes were made in the US and Europe. New York, Los Angeles, Manchester, Milan. Then globalization happened. Brands realized something simple and brutal. Sewing is labor-intensive, and labor is cheaper elsewhere. A human hand guiding fabric through a machine, hour after hour, was almost impossible to automate. So production moved to Bangladesh, Vietnam, China, Cambodia. Not because companies were evil, but because economics rewarded distance. Cheap labor plus massive factories plus container ships equaled lower prices. And for decades, that equation never changed. Until now, here is the secret. Most people don't know. Automating garment production wasn't blocked by machines. It was blocked by fabric. Fabric bends, wrinkles, stretches, slides. Metal parts are rigid. Fabric is alive. Robots could weld cars and build phones, but they couldn't reliably sew a t-shirt without messing it up. So, humans stayed essential. And as long as humans stayed essential, cheap labor countries stayed dominant. That was the wall. And AI just smashed straight through it. In the last few years, three things quietly converged. Fast computer vision. AI can now see fabric in real-time tracking folds, tension, and movement at millisecond speed. Second, reinforcement learning. Robots learn by trial and error like humans, but thousands of times faster. Third, soft robotics. New grippers handle cloth gently, not like steel claws from sci-fi movies. Put it together, and suddenly, machines don't need perfect fabric anymore. They adapt. Companies are already building sewbots that cut patterns autonomously, sew seams with minimal human input, and switch designs without retooling entire factories. And here's the kicker. Once labor drops out of the equation, location matters again. Let's do the math. If a factory runs mostly on AI, robotics, software, and electricity, then the biggest costs are no longer wages, their speed, logistics, quality control, and proximity to customers. That's where the US and Europe win. Faster delivery number, 30-day ocean shipping, no port delays, no geopolitical risk. On-demand manufacturing brands can make what sells. Not guess 6 months in advance. Customization at scale sizes, fits, colors made after the order is placed. Sustainability, pressure shorter supply chains equal lower emissions, and regulators love that. So instead of one mega factory overseas, you get hundreds of smaller, automated microfactories closer to buyers. That's reshoring, not nostalgia, but math. Now let's address the uncomfortable question. Doesn't this just kill jobs? Yes and no. The sewing jobs don't come back the same way, but new roles explode. Robot technicians, AI process managers, digital pattern engineers, factory software operators, supply chain, data analysts. Instead of thousands of people doing repetitive stitching, you get smaller teams running highly advanced systems. It's not skill labor returning, it's industrial intelligence. Countries that invest in training now will dominate later. And the human roles that must remain supervision, quality control, design judgment, creative problem solving will be more critical than ever, strengthening employment in the areas humans truly excel. And there's another side effect. US exports will dramatically increase, generating higher tax income and boosting the overall economy faster. Local production means more goods leaving the country with value added domestically, supporting both trade and government revenue. Who wins and who loses? Winners: brands that move fast, countries with strong automation ecosystems, consumers who want faster, better, greener fashion. Losers: ultra-cheap, labor-dependent factories, brands built purely on cost arbitrage, supply chains that can't adapt. This shift doesn't happen overnight, but once AI-driven factories reach price parity, the old system collapses very quickly, just like retail malls, film cameras, taxis. Here's the real story. AI isn't just automating factories, it's rewriting globalization. For the first time in 40 years, advanced economies can manufacture competitively again without exploiting labor or exporting pollution. Clothing becomes faster, local, smarter, more human. Ironically, it took machines to bring manufacturing back home. And the t-shirt you wear 5 years from now, it might be made down the road, not across the ocean. If you want to understand how AI is reshaping the real economy, not just chatbots and headlines, because the next industrial revolution isn't coming. It's already sowing. And hey, what should our next video be about? The effect of the rise of feminism on climate change, or whether we could use ocean water for flushing. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss it.